Dr. James JC Cooley. That's right. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Yeah. Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got a spectacular show coming your way. I'm just going to tell you right now, you might want to go and grab you about 8 bags of popcorn and get ready, because this guest that we got coming on the show is sensational. No, Michelle, I'm not going to give it away. This guy does so many things and already have done so many things. And I am excited to have him on this show. And I gotta say a little bit, Michelle. Okay, I won't. I'm not gonna give it away. How you doing, Dr. Cooley?
I'm doing good, James. How are you?
I am doing just fine. I'm ready to go back home. Ready to go home. back to my Lifetime Fitness. you know, you know.
I do miss my classes. That's actually where we met the guest who's coming up today at Lifetime Fitness.
See, I was getting ready to give it away, but then you already done gave it away. So,
but no, I didn't say his name. I just said this is where we were introduced to him.
Oh yeah, and he's a absolutely fantastic, sensational guy, and he's a young guy, you know, and and I like seeing folks that go out and do things and help enhance others, and making sure that they are able to fulfill whatever dream that they have or have some type of direction. So I'm excited about this. Another thing I tell you, California is beautiful. It's nice being back here. I think we're going to spend a lot more time here. I don't know. Yeah, and traveling. But I want to get back home because we've been on the road almost about 6 weeks, something like that, all overseas. We need to sit down and relax and go back to Lifetime Fitness. So,
well, you know what? I'm just excited. Let's just about the show today.
Yeah, I'm excited. I tell you what, can you introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely magnificent guest?
Oh, most definitely. So today's title is From the Cubicle to the Couch. We're having a conversation with Dr. Anthony C. Jones. He's a strategic leader, educator, and retired U.S. Air Force veteran. He's going to talk about telework versus telecommute, a historical perspective, and how people are the greatest asset in employer branding and talent attraction through sustainability. Agile work-life models increase productivity and workforce stability. He's going to discuss those. So again, he is a strategic leader, educator, and recently retired U.S. Air Force veteran with over 20 years of proven expertise in organizational development, leadership, and workforce transformation. He holds a doctorate in strategic leadership, a master's in organizational leadership, and a bachelor's in organizational management. He's earned 3 executive certificates from the University of Notre Dame, focusing on executive leadership challenges, strategic decision-making, and organizational influence. During his Air Force career, he spent 16 years in reserve recruiting, training, coaching, and developing over 200 professionals in diverse regions. In his final role, he led a high-performing department, 98 employees across 19 states from Minnesota to Louisiana, fostering cohesive performance and mission success in geographically dispersed teams. He's been a member of the board of directors for our Homeowners Association, has participated in various military boards focused on career development and advancement. He currently works as consultant for Judah Soccer Association in Warner Robins, Georgia, demonstrating his continued commitment to leadership, both in his profession and within the community. Let him tell you more about himself. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Anthony C. Jones.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is awesome. It's a pleasure to be here.
How you doing, Dr. Jones? How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent out here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. I had to kind of catch myself as Dr. Michelle Cooley was reading. I'm like, who was that person right there? I was all right.
You know, man, I tell you, man, you have accomplished so much. I think you spent 22 years in the Air Force, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yes, sir. I did 22 years in the Air Force. As just mentioned, just recently retired and did 16 of those years in recruiting for Air Force.
E9 for people that don't know that. That's how you can go in the listing rate. E9.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
I went E9 as well, but
yeah, that's right.
Man, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what made you click, and why you're so passionate about the things that you're doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So once again, thanks for having me on the show here. A little bit about myself. I grew up in a military household. Parents travel around a lot. I travel around a lot. I got to see a lot of different people, a lot of different regions and different parts of the world. And just my curiosity on people, I didn't realize was such a passion for me until I got into leadership. And, that passion just kind of stirred and stirred in me as I advanced in my career. I had to learn between my military career and I coach football. So I love coaching football, and there's so many lessons that I've learned about myself and people and just how um, systematic things can be, preparation, how important that is, motivation versus inspiration, how important these things are in these different types of environments. And it really, really motivated me to say, how can I be the best version of myself for people that are under my care? And so from there, my passion just kind of took off, and I got into school and just kind of further my studies, trying to understand some of the technical aspects of of teamwork and basically industrial psychology and working with individuals. If I could share with you quickly, I was all into the leadership tip and just kind of understanding, how things flow. And it was in 2011. I was working, and my boss at the time, whenever I went to him, I, he didn't know the answers that I thought that he should know. And it was really frustrating. I was like, hey, you're the boss. You're the one that's supposed to have all the answers. And he didn't. Um, but if I asked him, hey, let's go do a school visit, or hey, let's go visit this place over here or this place, he was all on it. He loved doing that. He loved being out. He loved socializing. And then it occurred to me that while there is a heavy emphasis on leadership, that followership can be equally important as well. And that in my role, in the position that I was in, it was important for me to be able to understand, how do I get the best out of my boss just as much as he's trying to get the best out of me. And that just added a whole different dimension to my perspective and to my thought processes and things like that. But those things went on, and come to find out, people are often more infatuated with how people handle power versus how they respond to it. So that just kind of generated my passion, and eventually put me on the stage where I'm at with you right now.
Wow. You're right. It's have to be done both ways. In order for us to be great leaders, we have to have been a follower. And hopefully, whoever we're following and they're teaching us and leading us, that we are able to pull some great things from them, because I believe that we all had to create our own leadership styles, that the way that we deal with people, but we learn from several different folks. You said that your father was in the service as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my father, he was in the service. He moved up to E9 as well. He made a group chief, and then he retired. And my mom, she was in E7 in the paralegal field, in the paralegal realm, and then she retired. And so now here I am, and then I have a son who's 22, and he's in as well right now. So he's doing great things for the country. I went ahead and passed the baton off to him. I said, hey, I got 22 years in, man. You can go ahead and you can take it and run with it now. So I told him, I said, he's going to run with it 90% or better on that PT test, though. So, yeah, he runs with it now.
That's what it's all about, man. It's being able to pass. And a lot of times we hope our kids fall in our footsteps. My youngest son is in the Navy right now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been in about 3.5 years now. He went in as a push button. Made E5 in a year and a half, less than a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's a fast burner.
Yeah. And now he's preparing for E6, so I'm hoping. He said, Dad, I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna beat you. I love it, So I tell you what, Dr. Jones, we got to take a station break, but whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether you're watching us on E36 Television, Frankfurt TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and over 80 other platforms, welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on, to the comments area, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm having a sit-down discussion with Dr. Anthony C. Jones. I tell you, this young man right here, just like you've been listening to him, he has done so many things. One thing he did not tell you about, he's also a professor. An adjunct professor where he's teaching, which is encouraging others, educating others with his experiences in leadership and helping them focus on what that is. So I'm going to start off like this, Anthony. If you had one adjective to describe who you are, what adjective would that be and why?
One adjective that I would use to describe myself. That's nice right there. It's a lot of words that go through my head. I think the one that sticks out to me the most would be resourceful. And that has just come from my upbringing, coaching football, adjunct professor and military career. At the end of the day, you have to be able to figure it out. You just have to be able to get it done. And, being able to use the resources that are around you in order to solve complex problems, simple problems, just whatever that it is, being able to get those things done, I really pride myself on, to where there's not a problem that, I can't figure out or I can't solve. That's, I've heard it described as that a problem is simply a need that hasn't been met. When you have a need that hasn't been met, then you have a problem. So when you're able to find out what that need is, then then you're able to solve problems. So being resourceful in any ways, morally, ethically, and legally correct. That is, let me throw that out there. Make sure I throw that out there. Is definitely myself. So I would definitely say resourceful.
Wow. Let's talk a little bit about the title of the show, From the Cubicle to the Couch. And just how can an organization triple its bottom line by focusing on the 3 P's: people, planet, and profit?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really strategic approach. Why I came up with this is in in recruiting, I had my area of responsibility was 19 states, about 98 remote people, and it was, how do you get the best out of people? How do you get the best out of the situation? How do you make sure that people are ultimately prepared to do the challenging work that comes with that comes with the job, and handle the autonomy and making sure that they're prepared in order to be successful. And so from that, kind of birthed the, hey, from here's the cubicle, and now we're going to the couch. It really spawned a lot from when COVID hit, right? COVID jolted a lot of things into the future and made people realize that a lot of things that could probably be done in the office can be done at home. You see doctor's appointments now being more virtual, and gym workouts being virtual. And so the way that we approached our work in recruiting specifically was, hey, while there is a healthy balance between being in the office and being at home to get things done, it is a way for it to be done and have people with good morale, so they could be more productive and stuff like that. So that's where the title came from the cubicle to the couch. It was I thought it was something fitting for what I was going through at the time.
So what are some of the key indicators that an organization is successfully balancing the 3 P's: people, planet, and profits?
Right. Well, one of the things that I would stress, right, because a lot of it is theory. One of the things that research has shown through Doylet or Forbes or most research based organizations show that you can measure whether your people, for the first part, or going to be successful, or if they're successful, or if your organization is successful, strictly based off of one factor. One, what is how willing are they to participate in organizational functions, right? It kind of shows pride. Do you have high turnout rates? Do you not have high turnout rates, right? What's absenteeism look like? Now, a lot of these things you have to take granularly, right? You have to be able to kind of contextualize some of these things. But if you have high absenteeism, or your retention rate is extremely high, then that could be linked or lead to different things that you may have going on in the organization, to where people may not feel connected, people may not feel valued, people may be stressed. It could be a lot of different things that people may have going on. It is very easy, and in this field, when we talk about remote and hybrid work, it is very easy to throw somebody a laptop or a cell phone or whatever other device that they have and say, hey, let's go ahead and figure it out. We'll knock it out through a couple of Zoom calls, and let's go ahead and go ahead and get the job done. But that shows that could be a very stressful environment that people are put in, and really impact an organization's bottom line in a negative way. And so, the thing that people want to focus on when it comes to the people aspect is, are they being trained? Number one. On the planet aspect, we see as more millennials and Gen Zs. Well, millennials are already ingrained in the workplace, but we get Gen Zs and the Alpha Gs that are coming in as well. We want to make sure that they have a particular niche for sustainability, right? Green products, making sure high energy sources. And so if an organization is is able to position themselves in that aspect, they can target young talent. 400% research shows that 55% of Gen Zs and 54% of millennials actually um, deliberately research organizations that they think that will contribute positive to the environment. And lastly, when it comes to profit, it is more so of, are you training individuals to make sure that there is ongoing training to ensure their success? I'll share a story with you really quickly. During one of our conference calls, I had an individual. In my previous position, I had 14 individuals that cover 19 states. And we was on a call one day and we were talking about numbers and how we need to increase numbers. And we were talking about, all these things. And an individual said, what programs do we have in place if I'm going through something with mental health? Like, what do we have here? Is there any programs that we have in place? And that had a cause for a pause. While we have different resources that we can send people out to, there wasn't anything necessarily in place that we had in our organization to solve individual issues right there. And so we came up with having social interaction times and making sure that, people can have constant communication that just didn't revolve with the work aspect of things. So to answer your question specifically, dealing with people, number one, being aware of your retention rate, being aware of absenteeism. Those can be some things. Are your people engaged in extracurricular activities within the organization? When it comes to the planet part, being aware of how an organization may position themselves within the environmentally to attract other talent, and then one, when it comes to profit, dealing with the training aspect of things, as far as, are people having ongoing training, or is it just simply, here's your information, let us know, we'll get on the Zoom call, we'll knock some things out, and we basically turn you out for your own.
Wow. Now, so you answered most of what I'm going to ask you is, what are some common challenges organizations face when trying to align social and environment along with the financial goals? What I believe is sometimes they forget about the people. I mean,
Yes.
because it's in most organizations, the bottom line is the dollar. Can you explain that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. With competing interests, right? And people have competing priorities. If we're trying to make a dollar over here, we're trying to get our goal met over here. And sometimes the people aspect can maybe fall to the side. And so when you have the head of different departments with different competing priorities, then you can have organizational issues from the inside. And so it is very, very, very important that everybody be on the same page. Um, for an organization that I was working with prior, in the recruiting aspect realm, as people generally will hear, numbers is the game. And you want to put in numbers and you want to make sure that the numbers are good for the defense of the nation. However, there's some administrative actions that go along with that as well. You want to make sure that the force stays ready, that they stay combat ready. And so there was an administrative aspect to that position as well, which, depending on who you talk to, some people put a high emphasis on that because those things were being measured and reported up the higher to the chain. In other instances, people felt like, hey, we should do our number one mission, which is put people in. And so you would have people within the organization that felt like production and numbers and being able to do it at a high level was important. But then you also had other people that felt that the administrative side and making sure that career development and that the paperwork and the administrative things that align with those things get done were important as well. And so you had competing interests. And if those things don't align, then you start to see cracks in the foundation. And so, yes, and when you have cracks in the foundation, that definitely hurts an organization's bottom line when it comes to ultimately making the dollar.
Absolutely, absolutely. I tell you what, we're not taking a station break, but I told you to grab a bag of popcorn before you even started because I knew Dr. Jones was going to bring it. And you know what? We got a lot more we're going to talk about. So if you want to be part of this conversation, All you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any questions in the comments. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible, integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
You are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you're created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. Oh yeah. It's the 4 C's.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Oh, okay. They caught me on camera. No, the 4 C's: create, collaborate. 4 C's: create, collaborate, commit with confidence. I wrote that, me and Charles, to bring out excitement in life. And I tell you what, that's what life is all about: is creativity, going out, collaborate with others. Because you can't do it by yourself. Commit, you got to commit to something. When you commit, you got to commit with confidence.
That's it. That's it.
If you commit with confidence, just like this young man, Dr. Anthony Jones, if you just sit back and just listen to him, watch him, he's confident with everything that he says. And if you use the 4 C's: create, collaborate, commit with confidence, it creates the big C. And Dr. Jones, what you think the big C might be, man?
You know what? I was just thinking about that right there. When I think about the four C's that you're putting together, I'm like, okay, it's kind of like the Power Rangers when they all come together. It's about to be something great or something, right? So I'm like, what's that big C right there?
Big C is character.
Ooh,
it's all
I like it.
Character. It's all about character, man.
That's right.
So we was talking. You and I listened to you about telework, telecommunicate. I mean, all that because it probably evolved during COVID, just like you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
How does the concept of telework and telecommute evolve where there are other driving forces, at least right now, that's trying to make sure that doesn't happen and everybody go back in the office? I believe that's going to create problems, like what you were saying. And people can do telemedicine, visit their doctors. I do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you tell organizations that are thinking against that right now, and they just want people back in the office from a leadership perspective, which is going to cost, in my opinion, the organization a lot more money, or with a brick and mortar or desk and electricity and all that other type of stuff. That's some people don't take that into consideration. What are your thoughts from a leadership perspective on what leaders should be thinking about? Because I think it's more of we should be thinking about our people. Also, the bottom line, that your 3 Ps.
That's it. Before I jump into that, though, the character thing is really important. There's one thing that I've learned is that your talent will get you through the door, but your character will keep you there. And so, when you say that, the character is a really, really huge thing. So I definitely double down with you on that one. Douglas McGregor specializes in employee motivation, and he comes up with 2 theories. One is a theory X that says that, and I think this is important to highlight, because I think it shows a direction that an organization will go based on how the leader perceives things. Theory X says that people need to be watched. People inherently will try to get over. They may be lazy, or they need direction, or they need oversight. Theory Y suggests that people will do the best job that they can do, and that people want to be successful, and that people want to be they want to do well. And so when you take those 2 theories, organizations generally will fall into one of those 2 categories, and that's going to be based off how the leader perceives things. One of the things you said, which was, why may an organization be hesitant with remote or hybrid work? Generally, the question is, how do I know if people are working? If people don't have eyes on them, how do I know that people are working? How do I know that they're being productive? And that's a very fair question. And a lot of those answers could probably be, what are they currently doing right now? Sometimes people just want to be able to put eyes on people and sights on people and know, hey, you may not be working, but at least I can see you, right? And we just have to be able to move past that. When we talk about when we talk about telework and telecommute, it's important to understand kind of how we got to this point. It was because that kind of helps shape the future of how we may view things. So it was in the early 70s with a gentleman named Jack Mills, who is coined the father of telecommuting. He was or still is, he worked for NASA as a rocket scientist, and they were doing a lot of important work. And so during one of the breaks that they had, they were, as he talks about it in an interview, you can YouTube it, you can see him, he talks about it on the interview. And he's like, hey, he was talking with an urban planner, and the urban planner said, hey, you guys can put rockets into space and you can do all these amazing things and all of that, but why can't you do anything about the traffic? Why don't y'all make the traffic go away? And he said, wow, that's pretty good. And that sparked the interest of, how could there could be a reduction in traffic. And therefore, you come up with, you fast forward a little bit, you come up with the invent of telecommunication, or excuse me, telework. And telework was used really for CEOs. The brand was, hey, CEOs, the pitch was, your people can telework. And what that's going to do is save you on overhead for some things earlier, Dr. Cooley, that you mentioned as far as, some of the overhead costs, ability maintenance, and some of the other things, insurances that come along with that, liability risk, and et cetera. And the sell to the individuals were, you can work and you can telework and telecommute, excuse me, but not come into the office. So both of them are used interchangeably based on the audience that you were talking to. And as it moved forward, they experimented with IBM, and IBM took it and they liked it and they implemented it and they kept it under wraps for a little bit because they were saving money. And then it goes on from there, where we have Wi-Fi, where people can be at the house now, and the Wi-Fi becomes more reliable than the dial-up connection that we have. And you just kind of jolted forward to where we're at today with the different social media platforms and everything that we have. I think the fear is, if people, like anything, if you give people a resource but don't teach them how to properly use the resource, then yes, people should fear that. People should fear that people may be at home and maybe not doing things. But the thing is that, do you have measurable goals that are in place? Do you have metrics that are in place? Is there ongoing training? Do people know what's expected out of them in those avenues? And if they do, and the work is consistent, then what you'll see is productivity. You'll see people that are living better lives. Research shows that people tend to be a little bit more healthier when there is a blend of remote and hybrid work. They tend to eat healthier. They tend to exercise a little bit more. Thus, for the organization, returning in on a bigger, healthier employee. So the research is really clear, which is, putting your people in a position to win will ultimately put the organization in a position to win.
I definitely do. I agree with that situation. When people work remotely, they're less likely to eat junk food because they have their home cooked food at home. They're eating healthier, and they're able to take that time out to exercise instead of being on the road driving to work. They can, walk in the morning or whatever it is they do, or run in the morning, or take a gym class.
That's it.
And definitely the feeling of rushing, that can add on to stress. So when you're home working, you don't feel that much stress because you don't have to rush home. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about picking up your children, if you have any, from daycare, et cetera, and et cetera. So that's definitely important. And I see we got a question from Joe Sutton. He says, Dr. Jones, do you feel that morale within an organization can be the same if a team works remote versus in the office?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, the morale can be the same if an organization is willing to invest into it. And Joe Sutton, thank you for your question. I really appreciate that. Yes, and there is different things that organizations can do in order to help build the morale in a remote environment. And so, yeah, sure, being together, being in person, seeing people and things of that nature in person. The human element is always there, and you can't replace the human element, right? But having a intensity, understanding, hey, 2 days, maybe 3 days, in a hybrid schedule, research shows that tends to be the best rather than just strictly remote. But yes, there's different things that can be done. I was with an organization that did a whole award ceremony virtually, recognizing folks, because at the end of the day, the morale comes from people wanting to know that they're appreciated and that they feel valued. When people feel appreciated and they feel valued, no matter what platform that it's on, that raises the morale, and that keeps the morale with the individuals or the team that's involved right there. But the important thing is that one of the critiques that I had when I was looking in on this organization, they had a 3-hour ceremony, and it was like, people get burnt out. There's digital stress. You start to lose people, right? So frequent breaks and understanding that the screen time, there's only so much that people's can handle looking at a screen, right? And there's research that shows and supports that. But yes, absolutely. The morale can be definitely there. I've had organizations that done a Freestyle Friday where leaders are they're more visible to people that they wouldn't be visible to, where they can take questions and answer questions and communicate with people on a personal level, via technology platforms and things like that. So no, absolutely, you can be.
Hold that thought. We got to take a station break. But
yeah, for sure.
This is so important. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments and ask them, just like what Joe did. Go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll be back with a lot more of Dr. Jones after the break.
I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. You guys caught me again. James Cooley Show, it's your life, and I tell you what, sitting back here having a wonderful discussion with Dr. Anthony C. Jones. This guy is incredible, and yes, you will be invited back to the show if your schedule permits. Yes, sir. But I want to talk about just Viridian Christian University, right? This university is, yes, I'm the chancellor. Yeah, but that's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about this because our university offers over 30 degree programs, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and honorary doctorate degrees as well, in 30 different areas. And we are fully accredited. And so Our goal is to try to help others attain whatever their educational goals are, whatever that is. So I encourage you to check us out. Go to ViridianUniversity.com. Again, that's ViridianChristianUniversity.com and see if our organization will work for you. I tell you, Michelle and I, we just got back from Dubai, where we hooded a king, a queen, and the Imperial Crown Prince, and from different parts of the world. So we love it, and I tell you what, we want you guys to be part of us. I want to get back to the show because Dr. Anthony C. Jones, man, I love your style, bro. You putting this out there, and we got so many people watching. Michelle see the number just like I do.
Oh yeah, there's just so many numbers out there, and this topic is definitely needed. And one of the most important things about this topic is acknowledgement of employees as key assets and how that can shift corporate culture and performance metrics. Can you go into that, please, Dr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, thank you for that. And before I jump into that, Michelle, you mentioned something earlier as far as traffic jams and what that is. And I happen to have a statistic right here that shows that from World Analytics that there's $78 billion that is lost each year as far as loss of productivity because of traffic jams, and the 25% reduction in force for employees that leave because of long commutes to get to work. So that's just to kind of double down on what you had mentioned earlier, which was awesome as far as traffic jams is concerned. But yes, as far as the people in the workplace, and as I'm here, during the commercial breaks, the phone's going crazy, and I've had people that one that it stresses the importance of people. And at the end of the day, if an organization is going to be successful, they're going to triple their bottom line. It's going to come from the people, right? Chairs, laptops, company cars, desks, furniture, administrative tools, all these things that an organization can have will eventually become obsolete or lose their value. One of the few things that an organization has that can appreciate and value are the people. And so, when you have the people and they can appreciate and value, then they become your greatest asset. So putting the people first is always a good way of making sure that your organization gets ahead. And with that, when we talk about the topic of remote and hybrid work and what that looks like, it is making sure that people have the necessary tools, the direction, and that they have the resources that are necessary in order for them to be successful. Because generally when we see situations where remote or hybrid work is not necessarily effective, it's because that there's a loss of there's a loss of accountability somewhere. I share with you real quickly the story that was shared with me. It was an individual. He was going to work, and he went to work Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Excuse me. His telework days was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. His office day was Wednesday, and he would go into the office on Wednesday. And he would get in there and he would talk and he would catch up with his friends and they would talk and everybody hee and ha ha. And the time he looked around, it was like the day was almost over and he didn't feel like he was being productive at all. And it was really frustrating to him. And so he said to his boss, he said, "Hey, why do I have to come in on Wednesday? I'm here. I'm getting way more stuff done at the house. I'm way more productive. I come in here, things aren't being done. All I'm doing is just talking and talking with friends and they haven't seen me. And so I get distracted." And his boss says, "Well, maybe you need to consider what you view as a successful day. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays when you're at home, that's one metric for success. But maybe Wednesday when you come in, it should be about not necessarily doing reports and generating these different spreadsheets, but maybe it should be about establishing solid working relationships and catching up on the health and interacting with your cohorts." That right there could be a measurement in itself. And so, when we take a look at that and we think about it, it is, what are the measurements and what is expected of individuals? When people know what an expectation is, not only will they meet it, they'll oftentimes exceed it. And so when you have that and you have that that's in place, then we really see we get the best out of people at that point.
Wow. I'm telling you, Dr. Jones, you're so thorough from a leadership perspective. I want to say you went through the Notre Dame programs like Michelle and I went through. The MBA, all the executive, all that leadership program.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Very, very, very great school. And so we got about 2 minutes left. What are some of the takeaways that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this absolutely sensational discussion?
I really appreciate it. I'm just going to hammer it home. What has already been said is that it's all about the people. And, when your people are happy and your people are taken care of, then you will ultimately see the success you want to see. I've heard it said that if you make sure people have what they need, then you'll always have what you want. And, when people feel as though that they're part of the team, they don't leave at 5 o'clock. They'll stay until the job gets done. And so, ensuring that people have the tools and making sure people have the right measurements in place, making sure that there's mental health programs, not just resources that you can point someone to, but actively having something in place is super important. And that would be the thing that I would tell people that I want them to keep in mind when they, as a takeaway for this right here.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you again, I want to invite you back on. Again, man, you're so thorough, and the passion, just I can feel it, and I'm sure that our viewers out there, and we got a lot of them watching this show today, can feel it as well. So I want to thank you so much. Stick around when we go off. Just stick around for a little bit. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for another great show. She write everything. She put together everything for all of our shows. I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners out there that tune in Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on AM 1170 The Answer out of San Diego, FM 96.1 The Answer out of San Diego, AM 660, K-Sky out of Dallas, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all of these. You can catch our show on 84 different platforms. But most important, I'd like to thank our people out there for tuning in. Always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. You can catch us Sunday, just like I said, AM 660 The Answer, FM 96.1, or just look up It's Your Life. You can catch us. So we'll see you alive again Monday, same time, same place. It's Your Life.